Hi everyone, how are you doing? I hope that you all are doing fine and I hope that you're okay. Today our lesson will be dictionary skills. First, you have to log in using the aplusstudent.com. Click on your name and you move on to language at the grade 4. The chapter is dictionary skills and the lesson is use dictionary words, use dictionary definition. Use guide words and use dictionary definition. Alright, so guide words appear on each page of a dictionary. They tell you the first word and the last word on the page. The other words on the page come between the guide words in alphabetical order. Now, so the guide word will tell you the first and the last word on a page. To put words in alphabetical order, you have to put them in order by their first letters. If the first letter are the same, look at the second. If the second are the same, you have to look at the third and so on. If the third is the same, you look at the fourth. That's the way to put words in alphabetical order. Hi. If one word is shorter and there are no more words to compare it, then you put the shorter one first. For example, we have B. Alright, so we have B, bed, and Ben. So because B is just two words, you have to put it in front and then you compare the remaining two. Okay? Fine, thank you. Alright, so you have to take note of the dictionary word because it's basically output us putting the words in other. Okay? Alright, look at this. Which word would you find on the dictionary page with the following guide word? We have machine and then we have mash. So which word can you find on that dictionary page? So you can look at the words. We have manner, we have mash, and we have mature. Now, manners can be found in between machine and mash because the first two letters are MA So you have to look at the second one. We have C and we have R. So from C up onto R, can you find N? That's the mana, the third one here. Of course you can. So you can find mana in between machine and mash. Alright, so can you find the word ransom on a dictionary page with the following guide word? We have register, we have roll. So of course we cannot find ransom because ransom is RA and register is RE. So RA, that means A is behind, and we're moving from E up until O. So you cannot find that because A comes before E. Alright, so from E and then you're moving on to O, you cannot find A in between them. Alright, so we have, can you find the word strip in between stick and studio? So look at strip, they all have STST. So we have STI for stick and we have STU. So the third letters are different, right? So we have I and we have U. And then the third letter in strip is what? R. So by the time you say your alphabet from I up until U, you can find R in between that. Please tell me, do you have a question before we move on to the test? Grade 5 will start immediately after grade 4. So once we finish these, we'll move on to grade 5. Grade 5 up until grade 8 is what? From 8 p.m. up until 9 p.m. All right. So if you're in grade 4, you can be in this lesson. But if you're not and you don't want to stay, then you can wait for the grade 5. All right. All right. So we'll move into the test. All right. So we have, which word did you find on the dictionary page with the following guide word? So we have seven and then sniff, right? So can you find sand or sheep in between seven up until sniff? Can you find that? Hi, how are you? So can we find scent in between seven up until sniff or sheep? Which one can we find? So now look at the second letters because the first letters are all the same. We cannot find scent because scent is SC and C comes before E. Alright, so the alphabet is starting from E to N. So we can find sheep in between seven and sniff. Alright, so you have to take notes. You can check the alphabet as well so that you don't get it confusing. So, would you find the word cough on the dictionary page with the following guide word chamber and cramp? So, can you find cough or not? All right, so take a look. We have cough and we have chamber, yeah? They're all what? C and C. Now look at H here. H is the second word for chamber. Look at where we have H here, right? Okay, and then you're looking for cough, right? Cough is what? CO. Look at O here. And cramp is what? CR. Look at the R. So in between chamber and cramp, we can find cough. Look at it. Look at the O. So we can find cough there. So you can look at the first letters if they're the same. You look at the second up until you find it when they have different letters. Okay. So can we find what word can we find in between the light up until domino? So is it dispute or drain? Which word can we find in between delight up until domino? So for this one, the first letters are all the same. It's all D. So we will take the second letters. So delight is E and domino is O. So can we find dispute or drain in between? Now drain, we have R, and this is where we have our R here. This is R, and this is O. O stops here. The domino stops O at O. And we have what? The light. The light starts at E, the second letters. Now, we cannot find drain because domino is DO and drain is DR. But we can find disputes because dispute is DI. All right, look at the I here. So it's in between the E up until the letter O. So we can find disputes in between, but we cannot find drain because drain comes after. Can you find results in between room and rust? Can you find that or not? Please, if you have a question, you can ask me, alright? So we have results, we have room and rust. Okay, so the first letters are all RR, but the result is RE, and room is RO, rust is RU. So E comes before O. It's not possible to find the word results in between room and rust because E is already in front and O is starting from here. So O starts here and then this is rust with U. So you cannot find E in between that. So it'll be what? No. All right, so can you find the word today in between teeth and triangle? So we have today. Yes, we can find today in between teeth and triangle because teeth is TE, triangle is TR, and today is TO. So the first letters are all the same, and we're working with the second letter. So today is O, and by the time you say your alphabet up until E, when you start from E up until R, you can definitely find O in between E and R. It's like that. Okay, so we have LMNOPQR. So of course you can find today in between that. All right, so can you find the word river or railway in between regard or rotary? So which of them can you find? So we can definitely find river because all the first letters are the same. But for railway, we have RA, and A comes before the first one, which is RE. We already have A in front. So from the E here up until the O, we can find I. So river will be the what? The word that we find in between the guide words. So we have ransom, register, and roll. Can we find ransom in between register and roll? Alright, so no, we cannot find ransom in between register and roll. Okay, so can we find bake or blow in between bacon and bread? So which of these can we find in between this guide words? So we can find blow in between bacon and bread because bake is BA, alright? Bake is BA. So A is already in front and we are starting from E up onto R in breed. So you can find blow because when you say your alphabet like E, F, G, H, I, J, K, L. from blow. MNOPQ, then R. Okay? So we can find blow. Alright, we'll move on to the next lesson, but you can still tell me if you have any question concerning this one, and I will explain to you. So the next one is use dictionary definitions. Alright, a dictionary entry can give you many kinds of information about a word. So, dictionary entry gives a lot of information about a certain word. It usually includes a definition for each of a word's meaning or sense. All right. So, for example, you know that we can have a word with different meanings, right? So, we can have one word and it could have like two or three meaning. So, the dictionary entry gives you all the definition for all the words. Okay. So for example, we have safe. This here is the pronunciation. Now, adjective here will be the what? Part of speech. Safer, safest. So we have not in danger, we are safe as long as the lion stays in its cage. Harmless, it's safe to cross the street now, providing protection or shelter. Let's find a safe spot to hide. Alright, so now we can look at some examples. Look at the sentence. The meat sauce at Betty's dinner is a little too thin. Now the word is thin. So you have to select the best definition of thin from all these ones here. Okay, so we have different definition here. You have to select the one that is suitable to the meaning of teen in this sentence. So first we have not thick or wide. I wonder what's inside that teen package. Not heavy or fat. All the runners are thin and fit. Watery or runny. The turkey gravy was too thin. By now you should have figured out the best meaning for teen in this whole definition. So we will have the words watery or runny because that's the meaning of tin in that sentence. So you can see that tin itself has three meanings. It has watery or runny. It also have maybe when a person is not heavy or not fat and not thick or wide. So that's what it means. So you have to make sure you select the best definition that is suitable for the sentence. Okay? So we'll move on to the test. So we have look at the sentence. Dad checks his weight and blood pressure every morning. So select the definition of weights that the sentence uses. So we all have different definition of weight here. So we have to choose the one that is suitable to the sentence. So we have how heavy something is, a piece of metal used to find out how heavy something else is. So which of this is the right one? Can you tell me? So option one, that's correct. So how heavy something is, right? You know, it's just like when you get on the weight scale to check your weight. So we have the Franklins grow tomatoes, carrot, and potatoes in the vegetable bed behind their house. So select the definition of bed that the sentence used. As you can see, bed, we also have the bed that we sleep on, but bed has more than one meaning. So you have to look at them and see the one that is suitable. Okay? So the ground that flowers or vegetable grow or piece of furniture you sleep on, which one? So it will be what? The ground that flowers or vegetables grow in. The first one. Alright, so we have baseball games draw a lot of people to Blue Point Park. So select the definition of draw that the sentence uses. Is it to bring in or attract people or to make a picture with pen, pencil, or crayon? Which one? All right, so it has to be to bring in or attract people. That's the definition of draw in the sentence. So Patrick practiced hitting the high notes on his flute. So you have to select the definition of high that the sentence uses. So is it a large distance above the ground or having an elevated pitch? Which of this is the right one? All right, so we have having an elevated pitch. So that's the definition of high here. Now, Lisa brushed the horse's mane, tail, and coat until they were smooth and shiny. So select the definition of coat that the sentence uses. The hair or fur that covers an animal's body, a layer of something like paint, which is the right one. Okay, so we have the hair or the fur that covers an animal's body. Okay, so we have the cookies have dates and walnuts in them. So a kind of fruit that is brown and sweet and grows on a palm tree, or the day of the month and the year. Which of them is the most suitable one? palm should be one because dates is like something, it's like a fruit or nut. I think, yeah, because people eat dates, so it grows in a tree, not the days of the month. Did you follow the direction when you tried to put the table together? So is it to act in agreement with or to go after someone? So what is the right answer for follow here? All right, so Dad was about to serve dessert when he was interrupted by a phone call. So to prepare something for other people to use or eat or to help other people, what is the meaning of serve in this sentence? All right, so what? If you say to help others is wrong, but to prepare something for others to use or eat, that's the serve, okay? So I had no trouble understanding Mr. Smith's clear explanation. So is it easy to see or easy to understand? What's the meaning of clear in this sentence? So easy to understand. All right, so that's it for our lesson under dictionary skills. Can you tell me if you have any questions before we finish for today? All right, so since we have no question, we'll end here for today. Have a good weekend. Try to complete this lesson if you haven't done it. See you all next week. Bye, everyone.